Again, thank you to everybody for staying. I know this is the last day, and we're getting towards the end of the session, and I'm not somebody who won't resort to bribery to get you guys to stay in your seats a few minutes longer, so I can't offer you bacon because our good friends at Adestra already did that. But I can offer you cookies, so when you go out for the cookie break, please, coffee break, I mean, please enjoy some cookies from the CertainSource team. So I know some of you know Chris Marriott, and you saw him speak at the vendor vetting panel on Monday, which was very interesting. But if you don't know CertainSource, I'm here to tell you a little bit about us. So before I get started, though, I have one other treat for you. There is a white paper on the table. We commissioned some research recently with the relevancy group on email tactics and strategies that brand managers are employing. I think you guys will find that information interesting. It'll be a good read. It's not as good of an incentive as a cookie, but you can take that with you when you leave. So who is CertainSource? CertainSource, we are a technology platform, and fundamentally what we do is we help our clients like Proactive and Lancome build their subscriber database so that it performs equal to or better to their existing in-house database. So I'm going to go through a little bit with you guys on how we do that, and I'm going to start with what we consider our core fundamental or the foundation to building a good email database. First and foremost is inbox delivery. We talked a lot during these past 3 days about inbox delivery, Gmail, sending the right message at the right time, getting into the inbox, et cetera. So in order to build a good email subscriber database, you need to make sure that your new subscribers are getting into the inbox consistently. And that includes all ISPs, even the finicky Gmail out there. The second fundamental or must-have for a good email subscriber database is performance. So you want to build your email database with new subscribers that are going to convert, they're going to engage, they're going to perform as well as your active file or better than your active file. And you need to have the data or the metrics to support that, to know that these people are performing. And finally, the third must-have is scale. So you want to build an email strategy for increasing your email database that's scalable, that's going to meet your needs as far as your growth needs. Now, if your active database is a small fraction of your overall database, if you do a lot of list hygiene, if you have people, which we all do, who attrit month over month, this could be a significant number. You might have to grow your database by 30% just to remain static, and by 50% to actually generate significant growth. So before I get into the process for CertainSource, I did want to just show you a little bit of data. This is a case study we did recently with one of our clients. They're a global retailer, and I'm not going to ask you to go through all the data. But what we did was we tracked all of the new subscribers that we added to their database, and we tracked the revenue generated, the amount of emails sent, the open, et cetera. So we wanted to prove that they were performing as good or better than their in-house file. And we did just that. So if you see the purple boxes illustrate the people that were new to their database, and month over the first 6 months of 2017, you'll see that whether you're looking at revenue per email, open rate, or click rate, their engagement and their conversion was better than what was actually in their in-house database. So how do we do this? How do we grow a database with new subscribers that are going to perform this well? So I'll take you through the process. As Chris mentioned, CertainSource is not a traffic driver. We don't own any of our own media. We don't own any of our own websites. So we have to deal in that same media ecosystem that most of you guys deal with. We go out there and we buy media for our clients, quite basically. So if you look at the media ecosystem, there's a wide spectrum of the channels. So you can go to the low-end, kind of alluring, price-conscious people who want to really grow volume, are going to purchase leads at a very low cost. We don't really go in that area. We found that those leads tend to be a little bit risky from an inbox delivery perspective, and then from a performance perspective, eventually they don't pay out for the client. On the other end of the spectrum, you might have something like search or programmatic. These are more expensive media channels, and most of the time our clients are heavily already invested in these media channels. They're using search, they're using programmatic display, they're driving acquisition and media to their sites to get conversions and orders. We don't want to go in that area. We don't want to cannibalize what they're already doing. So our sweet spot is really in the middle. This is more traffic driven, link outs, display, email, native content. This is what we consider our sweet spot when buying media. It's more moderately priced. The risk is very low because we're one-to-one and we're getting people to opt in, and the performance is very high. This is a sample of one of the well, we genericized it, but this is a sample of an offer that we would put out for one of our clients. So you can see they're offering an incentive, 20% off if you want to learn more. Some of our clients are a little averse to giving discounts, so they might offer an ebook or a white paper download, trying to catch someone's attention to get them to click. Once somebody clicks on the offer, they go to a custom landing page, and here's where it really gets one-to-one. So this landing page is developed specific for every client. It's branded for the client, and again, it tells you what the offer is. At this point, the consumer has to go in and put their email address and opt in. And this is a big differentiator for a lot of people who are out there doing email subscriber and new acquisition, because we're getting people to opt in. You're getting people who are truly interested in your brand to give their email address, and they have to click the join button. So regardless of whether they click the join button or they hit the X, they're going to be driven to your website. It's a seamless experience for the consumer. They saw an ad, they clicked on an ad, they got an interstitial asking for their email address, and then they go to the client's website. Now, if somebody did give their email address, that's when they come to the CertainSource platform in real time. So we add them to the CertainSource platform, and we begin what we call our rigorous cleansing. We go through a 5-step process. First, we're going to dedupe every email address that comes in, make sure it's not on the client's active file. Nobody wants to pay for somebody they already have, and nobody wants to pay for someone who's already unsubscribed or complained. Second, we send them through some validation. We use a third-party validation, Webula, who Chris mentioned, and we also use another third party that does our IP validation, forensic. We put it through an in-house global scrubbing as well. We've built an in-house file with known spam traps, complainers, hard bounces, et cetera. So after it's gone through all of that cleansing, it enters our 5th stage of what we consider the hygiene process, and that's email deployment. And again, this is a huge differentiator for CertainSource. You won't find anybody out there, any vendors out there, that are doing acquisition, that are going to deploy email on the behalf of the brand and then track the email and continue to track the subscribers once you send them to your CRM platform. We send what would be considered a welcome series, and this is just a sample of the welcome series. And as you can see, we're very consistent. So the offer that you saw to attract you to the landing page was on the landing page, and it's again in the welcome series. So we want to make sure that our clients are delivering on the message that the consumer has clicked on. So that's our process, and that all leads to our optimization. So we're a technology platform, as I said before. We track every email address as it comes in down to the source level, which means we're not just tracking the channel that that person came through. We're not just tracking the vendor or partner we worked with. We're tracking the actual lead source it came to so that we can optimize from an engagement perspective. So since we're sending email and we're deploying off of our own platform, we can track openers, clickers, unsubscribes, all of that interesting information. And then we can optimize. I just highlighted here the clickers here. So we can optimize by engagement. We can get rid of the lower performing lead sources, and we can increase the higher performing lead sources. And I was going to say we do this in real time, but when Brent got up here before and said nothing is really in real time unless you do it in less than a millisecond, I'm not going to tell you we do it in real time, but it's in near real time. So you don't have to send your budget and spend $50,000 and then at the end of your $50,000 spend say, oh, you know what, these 5 lead sources didn't work and I wasted my money on that. So we'll allocate the budget as the media buy is going on. And I'm getting the 2-minute warning, so I'm going to move a little faster. Okay, so we continue to optimize even after we send the subscribers over to our client. We tag all of the subscribers as they go to your database, and we look for how they're going to interact when they're in your house file. Because again, I said at the top of this, we want to add new subscribers that are going to be as good or better than your house file. And what we do is we track their revenue, their engagement, and for a lot of clients, they're interested in several things other than revenue, like average order value and repeat order value. So this gives us a 360-degree view of how your lead sources are performing, again, leading to optimization. What you'll find over a period of time is that we're just increasing the quality and raising the benchmark for all the subscribers that we're adding to your database. I'm going to wrap it up because I know everyone wants a cookie with one last case study. This is a global cosmetic brand. We've been working with them for about 3 years. Their goal is to drive subscribers and to drive engagement in brand. We were able to get for them 1.5 million new subscribers in the matter of 2 years. But what's really interesting and really hits home on our value proposition is that you'll see over time from year to year, through the optimization, we're able to increase the open rate by 33%, so they have better engagement, decrease the unsubscribe rate by 18%, and also increase the repeat order value, because they want people that are not just going to come in and buy once, they want repeat customers. So I know I was really fast. If anybody's interested in talking a little bit more about CertainSource, I'll be here. Chris Marriott will be here till the end of the show, and I hope everyone has a safe trip home and enjoy a cookie.